So welcome back. I'm really excited about bringing on my next guest. She flew in for this event that she's having coming up tomorrow, and I want everybody to hear what it is that she does. I have with me Patricia Parham. She's a PhD in psychology, an organizational development consultant, but tomorrow you're having an event. It's his actual seminar, and it's hands-on. It's transforming your shame into worthiness. Welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and we're going to have to do it kind of fast, but also what we're going to be doing there tomorrow. What you're going to do.
Okay, thanks for having me, Carol. I'm so glad to be here. I am a psychologist who wanted to bring together her psychology stuff, her organization development work, and her spiritual beliefs. And this workshop is an opportunity to do those three things because it's a hands-on workshop. I looked around the world and said, you help people become more of who they really are everywhere that you work. So if you were going to try to do this for everybody in the U.S. and around the planet, who would you target and what would you target as the core issue that people have? And as I researched it, the core issue was shame.
You know what? You couldn't be any further from the truth. It's so true. It is so true, if I said that right. Because we all have shame. There's a lot of guilt to shame. There's a lot of things that, there's an umbrella there that's called shame, and a lot goes under it, correct?
It is correct. And it's hidden and it's subconscious. And because we don't know it's there, it affects every part of our lives. And it comes out in such weird little ways. For example, been married 10 or 15 years? We first got married, running around naked with each other all the time. 20 years in, you're kind of like, well, I think I'll put on my robe when I see my husband this evening. Or dim the lights in the bedroom. All those things are just manifestations of shame starting to creep in. And as Americans, we have a lot of issues around our body type, what we look like.
Sure, absolutely. Especially after you've been married 10 years, because you know what happens.
Sag.
Now, this workshop that you're doing, it's transforming your shame into worthiness, which is awesome. Here's what we're doing. It's tomorrow, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's at the Tudor Plaza in Phoenix. You can check it out at meetup.com. The Summit Lighthouse is that they're actually sponsoring it for you. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to enter everybody in to win. Is that okay? We're just going to do this. Now, and I'm not sure, you also have a book that you want to talk about too. So what is the book?
The book is called Hilarion the Healer, the Apostle Paul Reborn. If you want a miracle, that's where to go for it around shame and healing.
And here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up the lines for everyone to get entered in to win one. It's Hilarion the Healer. It's by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And everyone's going to get entered in to win the book. And also, for tomorrow, it's an $80 value free to you. So our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And I want to make sure that you understand, this is for both Saturday and Sunday. So when I say it's Saturday 9 to 5, what is it on Sunday?
Sunday is 12:30 to 6.
So, and then Sunday, 12:30 to 6 p.m. Okay? And so everyone's getting entered in to win. Give us a call here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. The book is called Hilarion the Healer by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. It's an $80 value with the ticket. It's an $80 value for both Saturday and Sunday. Give us a call here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can also go on meetup.com and see it there. Okay, let's go back into what we're going to talk about there. So, we know that obviously shame is widespread, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I have it.
I have it.
I have it. You have it. Mm-hmm. Everybody has it.
Everybody has some of it.
Okay. So what is going to happen at the actual event? What we're going to do? You said it's kind of hands-on too. Go ahead.
One of the things that we're going to do is talk about what are some of the things that come up for us that we're ashamed of, and how do we reinforce that shame in ourselves? How do we reinforce it in our children? You ever said to one of your kids, you ought to be ashamed of yourself? I mean, I don't know a parent who hasn't said that at one time or another. So we're going to talk about what kind of behaviors do we do that reinforce shame, and how can we start to break that cycle? How can we stop shaming ourselves and others? And one of the major ways is to get rid of what I call CCJ, criticism, condemnation, and judgment. Don't criticize others. Don't condemn others. Don't judge them, nor do that to yourself.
It sounds so easy, but it's not.
No, it's
and that's
not.
why we need someone like you. She's got a PhD in psychology. She's flown out here just from Dallas in order to do this. Again, that workshop is Saturday from 9 to 5 and Sunday from what time?
12:30 to 6:30 on Sunday.
To 6:30 on Sunday. It's a 2-day event. It's at the Tudor Plaza in Phoenix. You could check it out at meetup.com. We want to give the book away, so we've got everyone getting entered in to win the book. It's Hilarion the Healer. It's by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. It's a fabulous book. Also, we're going to enter everybody in to win a ticket, which is an $80 value. It's for both Saturday and Sunday. Our number here, 602-277-5369. And here's what we're going to do, because I know it's Saturday. We're going to have the ticket at the will call for everybody,
At
correct?
the door, yes. And think about this is less than you'd pay for 1 hour of therapy. And I guarantee you will get more value from this 2-day workshop than you would.
When you say that it's hands-on, what do you mean by that? Let's talk about what you're going to do with everybody.
I'm going to ask people to share some of their stories, to write them down, and then I'm going to ask them to start to use some affirmations that might help them. One of the affirmations, we use affirmations that start with I am, because those are the most important kinds of affirmations to use. So if you're feeling low, one of the affirmations you can start to use right now, you can just say, I am light, I am light, I am light. You want to say?
It's I am light. You could say all sorts of positive things, not just I'm light. I'm happy. I am happy.
That's right.
You can change your story.
I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. So I think that worthiness is the opposite of shame.
Absolutely. Now, this says on your flyer here, this is a 2-day workshop and explores the root causes of shame and and what it triggers. The participants will use techniques that combine psychological and spiritual tools grounded in the teachings of the ascended masters to support personal growth and to transform debilitating behavioral reactions to healthy responses. That's awesome. Again, this is a 2-day event. It's starting tomorrow at from 9 to 5 p.m. at the Tudor Plaza in Phoenix. You could check it out at meetup.com. We're going to also give the book away and a ticket, and you're going to get it right there at the will call there. It's Hilarion the Healer by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. The ticket is for both Saturday and Sunday. It's an $80 value, free to you or anyone you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Okay, so how does one start? So you say one starts to start saying great affirmations. That's a good start. When you say that we have to heal our psychology, what do you mean by that?
All right. Well, from a psychological point of view, we talk about people being healthy. We don't talk about people being normal. We talk about people being healthy. That means you're able to deal with whatever life throws at you and keep moving forward and give proactive responses to things. From a spiritual standpoint, we're talking psyche, which means soul. Ology means study of the soul. So how do I take care of my soul or my wounded child? How can I be a loving parent to my soul so that I feel more whole and healed and healthy and strong?
Wow, I wish I could be there right now, because it's something that I think everybody out there knows that we all carry shame, and it's that underlying issue. Everybody thinks that you could just take a pill or you can just do something real fast and it takes it away. You have to go down deep, correct?
Yes, and we'll get rid of at least a layer over the weekend.
That's okay. Well,
layer.
You've got to start with a layer.
That's right.
It all starts with just one. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the money, part of it. So let's talk a little bit about more of what it is. So it's an $80, which you said is
less
for
than
2
an
days,
hour of therapy. Less
than an hour of therapy. You're going to go away with what?
You're going to walk away feeling more calm, more happy, more at peace with yourself. And you will have tools to continue this process after you leave.
And also, how about people out there that are dealing with their children that you had shame, and whatever you did, you didn't break the chain, and you're doing whatever it is that you got done to you to your children.
Exactly.
And or if you're having children that are dealing with shame, a lot of them are. Go ahead.
Yes. One of the things that parents are starting to do is shame their children on the social media. It's the worst thing you could do for your child. You really don't ever want to do that kind of thing. So if you can start to understand that everything we do has impact, and that if we can be positive forces for ourselves and for everyone in our worlds, we'll be much better off. And the key to that, the one key, if your listeners could take away one thing, is to understand that you control your emotions. They do not control you.
Absolutely. Now, can somebody heal their shame on their own? Or their self-help books?
There are self-help books, but you can't really do it on your own because it's hidden. And as long as it's hidden, it controls you. And if you aren't willing to make it public and share it with someone, which is easier in our workshop because you can share it with strangers, then it's still controlling you.
Sure. Now, again, this is going to be a 2-day event. It's starting tomorrow for Saturday from 9 to 5 p.m. It's at the Tudor Plaza in Phoenix. Sunday from 12:30 to 6 p.m. And you can also get the book by calling here. We're going to let everyone call in and keep on calling for the next 10 minutes. We're going to have the book and the ticket there for you at will call. And you tell them that you heard it on Networking Arizona. So it's Hilarion, the Healer, by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. You're also going to get a ticket for the 2 days. It's an $80 value, free to you or anyone you know. Tell them you got someone you want to bring along too. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You cannot do this on your own. What are your final words real quickly?
Use music and build spaces that you love to be in to reinforce who you really are.
Well, I'll tell you something. There is nothing better than having a PhD in psychology teach you a little bit about getting rid of some of your shame. How about the children out there that have it? We all have it. It's deep rooted and you've got to get it out. So check them out. You can even go at meetup.com. It's Saturday, 9 to 5 at Tudor Plaza in Phoenix.
Across that line, if I traded it all.
Coverage you can count on around the clock. News, weather, and the KFNX traffic team. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. It's 5 o'clock.
Videos inconclusive about face. I'm Barbara Cusack. A cell phone video released by the wife of the black man killed by Charlotte, North Carolina police officers sets the scene for what happened, but does not answer the question as to whether Keith Scott had a gun. Charlotte Mayor Jennifer Roberts says there are also 2 police videos that have yet to be released to the public.
I think all 3 videos have obscured or blurred or just not precise enough view of what was actually going on.
Months after calling Donald Trump a pathological liar, Texas Senator Ted Cruz says he will vote for Trump. Campaigning in Austin, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Kaine can't figure it after Trump had accused Cruz's dad of being involved with the JFK assassination.
If somebody said that about my dad, they would never have me as a supporter for anything.
Trump and Hillary Clinton are spending time this weekend to prepare for Monday's first presidential debate. I'm Barbara Cusack. White House spokesman Josh Earnest says he's not sure whether President Obama will sign a budget bill unveiled by the Senate's top Republican, even though it includes Zika funds.
This proposal also includes funding to fight the Zika virus. Not as much money as we initially requested, but after 7 months of waiting, it is a welcome development that Republicans in Congress are finally moving forward on a bipartisan proposal to give our public health professionals the resources that they need to fight the Zika virus.
Earnest says the president is disappointed, though, that the bill doesn't include money to help Flint, Michigan, and other cities dealing with lead in their water. The rain-swollen Cedar River is expected to crest Monday at 8 feet above major flood stage. Cedar Rapids Mayor Ron Corbett says people need to prepare.
We have 3 days, and we can save a lot in 3 days.
I'm Barbara Cusack.
America is taking the lead in energy,
leading the world in oil and natural gas production. I vote to keep it going. With the right policies, we can produce, refine, and supply
more oil and natural gas.
And more abundant energy
means more affordable energy for American families.
A more secure America.
Jobs, opportunity, and economic growth for our children
and grandchildren.
That's why this election,
I'm voting
for American energy.
Learn more at voteforenergy.org.
Join us and become an energy voter.
Brought to you by American Petroleum Institute.
In business, risks and rewards come with every decision, like moving to the cloud with Office 365. While its benefits include anywhere access and lower costs, cyber threats and user errors can quickly wipe out data and the money you save. Barracuda Essentials for Office 365 provide an added layer of security and functionality for threat protection, email migration, data recovery, and quality of service. Move securely to Office 365. Visit barracuda.com/essentials to learn more.
Arizona News Radio. Phoenix Police investigating 3 traffic accidents that killed 2 bike riders and critically injured a third. 2 of them involved trucks.
The bicyclist actually went onto against the traffic, and that's where he was struck by another truck.
Scottsdale police arrest a suspect who sexually assaulted a woman numerous times after she had passed out in a parking lot.
Right now, we only have this one incident that we're investigating, but there's a possibility that there could be more victims and more crimes in the future when the DNA and other information comes back.
Pima County Sheriff's deputies in a lengthy standoff outside a Tucson area home with a shooting suspect.
There's at least one suspect inside the residence who has barricaded themselves, which is why SWAT has been called out.
Phoenix police arrest a man wanted for numerous felony warrants. He barricaded himself inside a convenience market this morning.
The suspect pulled into the parking lot, got out of the vehicle, and was seen entering the store.
George Tanner, Arizona News.
This check of your KFNX traffic report is brought to you by Fix Auto Collision Centers. Accident cleared in Phoenix on Loop 101 westbound at Cave Creek Road. There's also stop-and-go traffic in Phoenix, Loop 101 westbound between 35th Ave. Accident off-right, Phoenix, Loop 202 eastbound at 52nd Street. Crashed your car? You have a friend in the business with Fix Auto Collision Centers. With locations throughout Phoenix, call Fix Auto Collision Centers at 1-800-INFO-FIX, 1-800-INFO-FIX.
From the KFNX Weather Bug Weather Center, clear with the low 62. Saturday, we start the weekend sunny and high 88. Saturday night, clear, a low 67. Sunday, sunny and breezy, the high 94. Sunday night, we finish the weekend mostly clear and a low 71. I'm Keith Langlotz from the KFNX Weather Bug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 85 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
You're out for a jog, getting in the zone when...
Ew! Oh, it smells like rotten eggs.
Meanwhile, dirt is swirling in the air, and you hear a hissing noise.
Dude, it's a snake!
No, dude. A hissing sound, swirling dirt, or rotten egg odor can mean there's a natural gas leak. Natural gas lines can be buried anywhere. If you suspect a leak, leave immediately and call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Oh, thanks, deep-voiced narrator.
You're welcome, young person.
This huge black spider. Let me tell you, I hate bugs.
Well, sure.
That's why I love Truly Nolan.
I know what you mean. Our kids love their mouse guard.
Yeah.
And because of Truly, there's no roaches in our kitchen.
You know, I like the ladybugs in my garden, but not the ants by the pool. I trust that to Truly Nolan.
You'll love Truly, too. Call your Truly Nolan neighborhood specialist at 1-800-GO-TRULY or visit us online at TrulyNolan.com.
Get Truly Nolan.
Warning. The Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of borders, language, culture. And here he is, winner of the National Radio Hall of Fame Award, Michael Savage.
Cross over the river, beyond every cloud. She's past the wind, blowing loud.
It is Rock and Roll Friday on the Savage Nation. I lay awake at night and ask myself, how can a criminal president violate the law virtually every day and not be indicted for it? Welcome to the program. What am I talking about? How can he violate immigration law in particular? How can he bring in Syrian Muslim refugees without approval of the Congress? How can he usher in diseased immigrants from south of the border without a congressional approval? And how can they not take them out in handcuffs? That's what's eating me alive. There's no law in the nation. We have government anarchy because the man at the top is a criminal. He breaks the law on a daily basis. But it gets worse. John Kerry John Kerry has a daughter. She has a charity. John Kerry siphoned millions of dollars to his daughter's charity. No arrest, no handcuffs, no jumpsuit. If you don't return a library book after 3 months, the police will come for you. We have a criminal regime running the country and destroying it. Now I want to go down to the street level. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Remember what I said on the show on Monday or Tuesday? When I watched that video of that punk woman cop shoot dead that black man, Officer Betty Shelby. Do you remember what I said? He was doing nothing wrong. He didn't violate the law. She killed him for no reason. I was ripped apart on Facebook by a lot of idiots who think that everything a cop does has to be supported. That's ludicrous. In every walk of life, no matter what it may be, there are the good, the bad, and the ugly. This woman was never competent enough to be a cop. She panicked, and she killed that black man. I was confirmed to be right because she was indicted for first-degree manslaughter just the other day. You remember the unarmed black man shot dead by the white police officer on the Tulsa street? Well, prosecutors charged her, the so-called officer, with first-degree manslaughter. I was right, and I'm glad I was right, because my entire career depends upon being right more than I'm wrong. And now I want to tell you a little bit more about what's going on in the world. Again, it's Rock and Roll Friday. And the phone number is 855-400-7282. Guns, 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 guns. Killings, 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 killings. So let me give you a positive gun story. There's a video going around, which I found this morning from AP. I put it up on michaelsavage.com. Probably it's on Facebook by now. I don't know. It says, woman kills home invader, has gun battle with second suspect. That's only part of the story. You got to see this woman. This woman is amazing. She should be given a Heroes Award. 3 pieces of human trash kick in the door of her home just northeast of Atlanta. The woman is awakened by the sounds of people breaking into her home after 4 a.m. last week. She comes out as they come in with guns. She gets into a gun battle with them. She shoots one of them and they run like cockroaches out of the house. The big brave hoodies go running out of the door as the bullets are flying at them. She shot one man in the torso, then she engages in a gun battle with one of the surviving vermin. So I'm showing you about guns. Guns can save your life. Guns can take your life. I had a dream last night. I actually dreamed this show. Are you ready for what my inner mind told me I was going to talk about today? It was as though I was on the air. I saw it on my message board. This is how I'm able to do the shows and the books, because it comes from a deep well. And the question was this. I read that only a few small percent of Americans account for 50% of all the gun ownership in America. And something like 3% of Americans own 50% of the guns. So I said to myself, in my sleep, I thought this. If you own 3 guns or more, would you call this radio show and tell us why you need 3 guns or more? Okay. Then on the other side, if you do not own a gun, call and tell us why you don't own a gun, given that we're living in such crazy times with your crazy president bringing in murderers and terrorists. You don't want to protect yourself and your family? What if someone kicks your door in at 3 o'clock in the morning? Who are you going to call, Marvin from NYU? You're going to call the ACLU at 4 in the morning? You can call Smith & Wesson. They'll help you faster than Marvin with a law degree. And that woman knew it. I never do gun stories on this show because it's usually very limited in response, but I'm very intrigued by this. If you own 3 guns or more, call this show, The Savage Nation, and tell us why you own 3 guns or more. What do you need them for? On the other hand, if you're a gunophobe and you do not own a gun, tell us why you don't own a gun, given that so many Americans do own guns. Why don't you own one? I think it's an important question, and I'd like to carry it for a minute or two. Well, I'd say a segment is about it. I'm not going to do a 3-hour job. I'm not a fill-in host. This is my show. I like to mix the topics up. And so for those of you who have followed the show for many years and like to do dream analysis, here's an easy one for you. I don't know whether the following dream occurred before the gun dream or after it, but I saw myself in the dream having climbed a very steep rock outcropping. It was almost vertical, but somehow I was able to get up. It wasn't just rock, there was brush, and it was somewhat angled going up. And when I got to the top of it, it was surrounded by brush, and there was nowhere to go. and I looked down and realized I could never go down. That it was hard enough to climb up, but as you well know with steep inclines, it's very difficult to go down without the proper equipment. I was trapped on the top of this outcropping, and I couldn't get down from it. And the only way down in this dream was to call a helicopter. Well, I woke up and I can interpret that dream. I know what it is. I know exactly what that dream is. That dream is, I have climbed to the top of my career. I am at a plateau. I've written yet another bestseller called Scorched Earth. I have a very, very successful radio program. I'm at the top of the mountain, and there's no way down from this mountain. People don't understand something, is that you can struggle all your life to achieve something, and once you achieve it, in some cases, you're trapped by your own achievement. I want you to think about that. Many of you are struggling to succeed. And I have said many times, in quoting Eugene O'Neill, where he wrote, "Success is a stale finale, the struggle is the success." Well, I'd like to add something to that fact. It's not the struggle that's the success. It's not achieving success that may be the success. Because success itself may not be a great achievement. It could be an imprisonment. Those are just some thoughts for Friday. I know many of you like to think. And you'll call on the gun thing, not on the dream. I don't blame you for that. And here are some of the other stories while you're whiling and dialing. What did I tell you the other day? Who was behind the riots in Charlotte? Police have now said that 70% of arrested protesters had out-of-state IDs. What did I tell you yesterday on the show? I said that most of the agitators are white communists from out of state, funded by George Soros, the National Lawyers Guild, the vermin that need to be reined in if Trump becomes president, or we're all dead. Let me tell you something else, in case you don't know it, because I told you this 6 months ago on this show. There is a federal law that prohibits people from crossing state lines to incite a riot. When was that law passed? It was passed during the turbulent 60s, when the fathers of these vermin, the communist fathers of these same communist vermin, were crossing state lines to incite riots against the Vietnam War. Well, legislators that we had then said enough is enough with these outside agitators. We're going to pass a federal law. You cross a state line to incite a riot, you're going to jail. It's a federal crime. Now, I said that to you yesterday. You know and I know that our attorney general will not indict these people because they are the ones who put her in office. You and I both know that the president of the United States is an outside agitator himself. So why would he ever indict people who are crossing state lines to incite a riot when he's in America inciting riots with what he is doing? So we the people are now stuck, aren't we? Are we really stuck? I'm not so sure we're that stuck. So those are some of the ideas, some of the questions. Let's go to some of the callers. Steve on WABC line 2, 30 seconds or less on the gun issue.
Yeah, pleasure, Doc. The reason why I own more than one gun is because I have multiple entrances on my property, and I'd like to have every property covered with an available firearm.
Hold on, Steve. You're calling from New York City. You're not allowed to own guns in New York City.
You're allowed to own hunting weapons.
What weapons do you own?
I own rifles, Doc.
Okay, what rifles? Name them.
Name them? 30-06, 30-30s. And I have one.
No, I said, give me the brand name of the 30-06 and the 30-30. Who's the manufacturer?
Remington.
Who?
Remington.
So why do you need 3 hunting rifles?
Why? Because I may be hunted one day, and I'd like to protect myself.
Well, how can you